Hi, friends. So, a quick little disclaimer preface before you listen to this episode. I recorded this in March, and I definitely was not good mentally. I was going through it a little bit, but I think it's important to talk about it and put it out there. And it's August now. A lot of things have changed, and I've moved past this point, but I plan on releasing an episode going really in depth about all of it and just a life update and then getting back on track with uploading. But after this episode, I just took some months off, chilled a little bit, got myself mentally straight a little bit as much as I can, you know what I mean? But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that this is an older episode, but I still wanted to put it out there, and I will update you guys soon in a new episode. So look forward to that. Some thoughts probably should not be said out loud, but I recorded mine. Hey guys, it's Mara, and welcome back to the podcast where I share my thoughts on the internet with all of you. And you guessed it. Hint, hint. Allison is here. I said Allison again.
I know. My name's Allie.
I just am feeling very formal today.
I like it.
You know, we recorded 2 episodes today, but when you get these, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see which one she even posts first.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You might be confused right now.
You might be really confused right now.
It'll be fine.
Probably not. I think I'll put them in order.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that'll be nice. So, hey.
What are we going to talk about today?
Today, we're going to talk about my spring break down. Not my spring break, my spring breakdown.
Okay.
Because I had a breakdown.
Yes, I recall.
Really, yeah. This isn't the first time that I've had this breakdown.
I know.
Yeah, but it feels so real, okay?
I do think it's interesting that you're going to put it out into the universe a little.
Yeah, I feel like this is a topic that I've never really talked about.
Yeah.
Well, like,
openly.
I talk about it, like, to people that are close to me. Like, my friends know, my mom knows, my psychology professor, actually, she kind of inspired this episode in a way. She told me that a lot of times people don't talk about, like, the hard stuff, like with mental health and things that scare them, and, like, death, which is the topic of this podcast, is they
Barbie movie.
Yes, she brought that up.
Oh, Barbie did this.
Yes, and it made me feel a little bit better about myself when I saw that in the movie. I was like, oh, so I'm not alone.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the purpose of this, is just talk about it. There's a lot that we don't know and we'll never know until we die, which this episode might sound a little dark, and I'm going to laugh through it, because if you don't laugh, you'll cry.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, so my spring breakdown.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's get started.
I need to know your thoughts on things. Maybe your thoughts will help my thoughts.
Well, to be more specific, she wants to talk about existential crises.
Yes, because I had one.
Yes.
And this isn't my first one.
No, but I do think this one was rather bad.
This one was probably the worst one so far. I
agree.
It still is lingering a little bit. But, you know what? I go to therapy. Yeah. I got back on my meds. Like, it's at least manageable now. That I can go to work. I can go to school. Like, we're good.
Yeah, and I think therapy is something that people should always seek. You know what I mean? I feel like, the whole, it wasn't really, it was frowned upon in the past. I think it's becoming more acceptable in society. And
I think really it's a good thing that it is.
Do it.
Yeah.
I think there was a time where you were like, is it okay?
So I think I figured out, like, my trigger, kind of, that makes me spiral into these existential crises.
Okay.
And it might sound silly to some people, but I don't care. It's, like, immense change, like, big change happening.
That doesn't sound crazy.
Okay, good. And I talked to my therapist about it, and he was like, so what we're going to do with this information is now when we see upcoming change happening, we're going to prepare.
Hang on, please hold.
I'm holding.
Okay, let me see. What is the root cause of an existential crisis? It says, some common causes of an existential crisis include loss and grief.
Okay.
Experiencing significant loss, such as a death of a loved one, or the end of a relationship, or the end of an era, can shatter one's sense of stability and provoke the questions
That's
of existential.
definitely what's happening.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. Well, my first one that I had about like this topic of like dying and death and being old, all of that happened when I was graduating high school. I remember.
Oh, I remember that one so thoroughly. I had so many messages because we went to the same high school.
Yes, we did.
And I'd known you since you were, born. And
I literally can't believe that I was sad about that. Leaving that place.
Yes, I talked you up so much. I was like, listen, I hated high school. You loved high school, but I didn't like it. But I was just like, just wait. What's gonna, like, the things that are gonna... I just was like, you're going to enjoy this so much. There is a lot less, I feel like there is pressure in college, but you don't have that structural, like, pressure like in high school where you have to do everything the same exact time every day. You have to do homework. You have to go to lunch same time. You have to, dress a certain way.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you shouldn't dress a certain way in college, but you get to make your own classes. You get to eat where you want. You get to... You know what I mean? There is some freedoms in that, expensive freedoms.
Oh yeah.
But I just knew that that's something that I think that you were going to thrive in, and you had such a hard time grasping that.
Yes, I did. Like trying to understand that better is coming, because I think I actually had an old dance teacher tell me that I was so upset with like life moving on from the place that I was. But it was kind of a good thing because it means I was really enjoying life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's a nice way to think of it. But also, like, I'm still sad because everything's changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that.
But the end of my last existential crisis was I got into college and I ended up thriving.
I was so excited. You elude somebody who does well in educational settings. Mm-hmm. So I just knew you were going to do so well in college.
I did. I loved it.
But there was no convincing you back then. It is hard.
It wasn't.
It's really hard to get somebody to be somebody who can help somebody get out of that situation. It's like watching the Titanic sink. It literally is
the best way to talk
that's
about
how
me.
It feels as an outsider trying to help somebody in a situation, because it almost feels helpless.
Yeah,
it really does. And like, you want to do so much for them, but it is something that they have to accept and come to terms with on their own.
I can vouch for everything that you were saying because like I'm on the other side of it, and I'm like, it's really hard. And until I was in college and then like realized that I'm doing the thing that I was so afraid of, I was like a mess. Like, you could not convince me that it was going to be okay. Like, that whole summer I was terrified.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't have been.
It was a very emotional summer.
Oh, yeah, it was.
I got a lot of questions, and I always feel like I give you honest answers.
You do.
There have been times where even Mara like asks me, a specific question, and I'm just very much like, I can't answer that for you. That's not something I can give you clarity
But
on.
I do really like the honesty, and that helps me. And then when you just tell me like your personal things that like happened, or like how you dealt with stuff, like it definitely just helps.
But also, I never want to take away, like, I'm a very big on let somebody say their piece, and don't try to give always your side of it, because I don't think sometimes that's what somebody needs. So I mean, yes, I can tell you what I went through, but we're never going to go through the same exact experience. Nobody is.
No.
So
we all have our own views on things. It's like perspective.
That's why it's so hard to talk somebody out of something like that. And do you remember actually any other like existential crisis? I mean, we've all had kind of existential crises after like breakups and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, what's my life gonna be without a person?
Yeah.
But like, yours is like phases through life.
That's really strange. Mine definitely has been like that. I remember around the first time of me getting diagnosed with anxiety.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know what was happening. I think I had one then, but my thoughts were definitely different than the ones that I'm having now.
You know what's interesting? Not interesting, and I don't mean to like, and you can cut any of this out, but you as a child, you did not have existential crisis. You more so were very like a hypochondriac.
Yeah.
So I almost wonder if it almost transitioned because like
Into that?
Yeah, there was not a time. There was we took a trip together.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean.
You know exactly this trip, and I was there to like hang out with you in the hotel room, and like you were convinced you were dying of like
yeah, I was.
everything. Like you got to a point where I like said, like something somebody's born with.
Yeah.
And you definitely didn't have, and you're like, do I have that? And I like
Let
had
me Google it.
Yeah, I was like, I had to walk out of the room because I was like, I don't know how to help her. And you know, we were a lot younger then too. And but like, I almost wonder if like that anxiety just like transitioned when you got older to something more you can understand.
Maybe.
Because when you're a kid, you just don't want to hurt.
Yeah.
But as an adult,
and that's all I knew.
Yeah, and like you need help to not hurt.
Yeah.
We do as adults too, but you start to like understand like concepts.
Pinpointing things more. Yeah.
Concepts, the universe, stuff like that. So I wonder if almost like not, I don't want to say mental illnesses, but I wonder if there's a correlation between
it
those
kind of
two.
grew with me almost.
Yeah, or even like it flipped a switch.
Maybe.
I just think that should be something that's studied, and it might be. I think we should really look into that. And you should look into that as like a personal healing kind of thing. Because I don't know if you even remember that like time in your life.
I definitely do. And now that I know what it like, the physical feelings that I was having then was definitely physical symptoms of having an anxiety disorder.
Yeah.
Because like you do get like this weird like shaky feeling. And
like you think you're dying.
Yes. I used to, before I got diagnosed, I would think myself into having fevers. When you would take my temperature, I would actually have a fever.
Yeah.
And like my heart rate would be crazy. And it was just from me like worrying.
I've only ever had one. And I mean, I've had breakdowns. Who hasn't had breakdowns? Yeah. But I've only ever had one that actually took me to the hospital.
I think I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went because I thought I was having a heart attack. Because I was like, I didn't know what to do. Like, it was very unsettling. And it was because of Grandpa passing. And I just didn't, like, put it together.
Oh.
And then they're like, the doctor came in so sweetly. And was like, it's like they knew.
Yeah.
You know? And I was just like, I don't understand. Like, they sat down very nicely.
Yeah.
And, like, I didn't know that, like, I'd never had one before. Like, you've had them all your life. And, yeah, I get sad. Yeah, I get anxious. But I've never had one to, like, that physical.
When you physically feel
like,
it,
that physical degree. I've definitely had it in my brain, but never, like, my heart's gonna burst open.
Physically feeling it is, like, just a strange feeling.
Yeah.
And I think that's where when I was younger and I would freak out about like, oh my gosh, I have this illness and I'm dying. And
yes,
I think it was because I was feeling the physical symptoms of anxiety. Right. And they did put me through like all these testings. Like I went and got like an EKG on my heart. Like I went, and that's how they found out that I had low blood sugar all the time. But like it wasn't causing.
I remember those days too. I was always be like, eat some candy at dance class.
I'm like, okay. But it wasn't causing like the physical symptoms I was feeling. And now that I'm older, when I feel those symptoms, I'm now able to identify and be like, this is anxiety. So like it's not like I'm not like focusing on like all of the sicknesses and stuff that I have now because I can recognize it. So I think like that part kind of like grew with me. Like you learn how to live with it.
Interesting.
If that makes sense. I
have that little bit. I don't know. I have health anxiety. Who doesn't?
Yes.
Like Google's gonna tell me I'm dying all the time. So I definitely have that.
I actually had to ban myself from WebMD.
Yes.
Because I was convinced.
Preach.
Yes, I thought that my brain was bleeding. Like convinced myself.
Same.
Because I had a headache. And
like
you know what happened?
Week.
Yeah, and it was the weather. The weather changed. But I was convinced.
Oh yeah. I on TikTok for a while it's been talking about colon cancer, and I was like, John, this is it. Like this is what's happening. So I was convinced I had that for a really long while.
Yeah, I don't blame you. TikTok is so guilty.
But you know what was nice? There was a channel that came up that was like, is this health anxiety? And then he's like, you probably don't have the brain cancer, blah, blah, blah. And he like gave statistics and facts. And I was like, you know what? I needed you.
Yeah.
I needed you
today.
I
love the science behind it all that like helps me feel better. Because there's research.
Yeah. I mean, did I get a test? No. Could I? Sure. Who knows?
Yeah.
But, like, it's just, like, we all need to take a breath.
Yeah. Just a breather.
Yes.
So circling back around to
please.
My current breakdown.
It was a lot.
It was a mess. So what happened was I turned 24
Yes.
That went okay. Like, I know I was a little emotional leading up to my birthday, but like in my mind,
birthdays are hard for you.
Yeah, and I don't know why, because when I was a kid I always had fun, but I don't.
It is hard to get older.
Yeah, now it turned into like a I'm scared thing, but I know leading up to my birthday I was just excited to celebrate, and I didn't think about these things. And even like I think it happened 2 days after my birthday is when it started to like set in, and I was like, uh-oh, like I'm freaking out about something. So I don't know if my birthday caused it or the fact that I was like, my next thing that we're going to be like celebrating or focusing on is graduation from college.
Right.
And that's definitely like one of the big things in my mind now.
End of an era.
Yes. And it lines up with my high school graduation when I freaked out then.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's the pinpoint of it all. Like, that's where it's coming from.
I didn't
like
think
that
of
type of change. I actually didn't think about that either until my friend Natalie was sitting with me, and she goes, "Didn't you freak out about this when you graduated high school?"
Yes,
and I was like, "Whoa, actually, you're on to something."
Yeah, Natalie cracked the case right
she
there.
She really like cracked the code on me, and we were sitting in my driveway drawing with chalk, and she was like, "You did this before," and I was like, "What?" Like, I literally, it didn't like click in my brain. Like, I didn't even know until she called me out on it.
Well, you probably blacked out through that whole experience.
I think I did. And even sometimes now, because I'm like coming out of it, I still feel like weird. I don't know.
Yeah, like you said, you probably have lingering feelings.
Yeah, like sometimes I don't feel real, and then it like all hits me, and I'm like, whoa, I'm panicking. This is uncomfy. And then we work through it.
Okay. So, if you don't mind me asking, I don't know what's on or off topic here.
Go for it.
Okay, so what exactly about turning 24 really freaked you out? Because you did ask me questions about, like, did I know? Well, okay, guys, she made me feel so old.
I'm so sorry.
And I know you weren't doing it on purpose
No.
or anything. Like, you were subconsciously doing it, but it was just like, I understand. And it was like, it's like an aging question.
Yeah.
Like, you were just like, do you just feel, like, what was the question you asked? It was like on the lines of.
Did it feel like it happened fast?
Yes, that was the question.
Because sometimes I think about, like, I'm 24, and then it, like, just hits me. I'm like, oh my God, I'm 24. Yeah. Which, like, in all reality, and I'm coming to terms with this, 24 is still very young.
Very.
Very young. And I needed
I'm
that.
31, and I don't feel old. I mean, I am a 31-year-old with living arthritis and carpal tunnel. But, like, yeah, I feel old in that respect. But, like, I don't feel like I aged old. I just got diagnosed old.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, like, not everyone my age is going to feel like this.
So I'm thinking now, like, I'm already freaking out, like, when I'm 24, and I'm like, I feel like so much has happened, and
so much is coming, or you think that you haven't achieved enough?
No, I never feel like that type of fear.
I'm really happy to hear that.
It's more just, like, it all went so fast, and now I'm afraid, like, I'm going to be 24, and the next thing I know, I'm going to be, like, 40. And then I'm going to be like, what just happened? Like, it was so fast.
Thank God you didn't say 30, guys.
I stopped myself.
I know, there was a tiny pause.
Listen, I feel like 30 is definitely, like, very young. Like, when people tell me they're in their 30s, I'm like, you were in your youth.
I actually told you that I feel like I enjoy my 30s, aside from the chronic pain.
Yeah.
I enjoy my 30s a lot more than I did in my 20s, because I feel like in my 20s, and you're having just really excelled anxiety about it, but I did feel like things were very uncertain. I felt very lost. I felt like I needed to find my place. I needed to be at a certain place, which you said you didn't feel exactly like that, but I did feel like I felt, like I said, very uncertain about things.
I think I feel better about, like, the where I am in life is because I used to beat myself up really bad that I graduated late in college, but then I reassured myself I'm doing 2 majors.
That never matters.
Yeah, and I needed to come to terms with that, which I did, because there was a point where I was like, I feel, like, embarrassed to still be in college and be 24. But now, like, that's so okay. Like, 100%. It's so fine.
There are people way older than you in college.
Yeah. And for some reason, like, everyone in my class is, well, the majority, there's actually some in there that are older, and, like, it's kind of nice, but most of the other seniors are, like, 20, 21.
Right.
And then I felt like I just, like, stuck out because I was 24, but, like, now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, it doesn't really matter that much. Like, everyone's on their own little journey.
Exactly.
So, like, I came to terms with that, and I felt a lot better with, like, where I am in life, being 24 and like that. So I don't feel like that it's like I didn't accomplish enough. It's just I feel like life is going really fast and I'm scared, kind of. I don't know. I'm getting over that part though. Like that's not the thing that's like sticking with me. That was definitely part of it. I think that started it. And then we got into my really big spring breakdown.
Yeah. There's a lot of tears.
I was very tearful.
Can I ask you, did you work at all or did you?
How did
that go?
So the morning,
because I know you when you're in a slump. You're definitely like
stuck in my bed,
stuck in your bed, hermiting.
Yes.
Only reaching out, maybe coming out of the room for a glass of water.
That's pretty much what it was like. I called off one day and I was straight up with my boss. I was like, I'm literally like getting back on my Prozac. Like things are not good. And like, luckily it was chill. Like, thank goodness for understanding employers for that part. So that was very nice. And like for school, I was on spring break the majority of it. And then my other classes
that's great.
Yeah, my other classes, I really didn't miss any just because like I do really enjoy being in college. So I could like force myself to be there. But like when I was there, like sitting in class and I knew I was spiraling, oh my goodness, I like didn't feel present in the moment.
Yeah, like an outer body experience.
Yes, it was so hard until I got back on like my medication and I started to like feel more zoned into the present time. And the anxiety would go away then when I was like zoned in. I don't know.
I love modern medicine. I always will.
Me too. I fully support it.
Yeah, agreed. Do I think Big Pharma is a thing? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But like I don't necessarily, I mean, I do have anxiety, but I don't have it on the degrees that you do. But I have bad depression, and I take something for that. And, like, I'm so grateful that like, exists because, like, I'm a mom, you know? I'm, like, I have to get through my day, too. But, like, I just think that there's always options, and I'm glad that the people can find them. And I'm glad you have all of the medication that you
very
need.
Helpful.
I saw her like pill container the other day in her bathroom.
It was massive.
I was like, wow. They like really
I think you told me that I had the heavy duty pack in it.
I was like, did you buy this at Sam's Club in bulk? Like, what's happening?
No, they just made sure that I am heavily medicated.
She knows I love her. She knows I make fun.
This is like my sense of humor. Like
You're right.
It's helping me, guys. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
She's not bullying me.
I actually made her smile.
I'm in a safe place. Okay.
Right. Exactly.
Don't come looking for me.
I know. Or me. Okay.
I'm safe here.
Yeah. Right. Funny.
So So I had like a little life crisis about being 24, and then the big topic started hitting me.
Ooh.
Ready for this?
I am.
We are all going to die, and like there's nothing we can do about it. Like we are all just like living our days until it happens.
Sorry, it's happening now.
Oh no.
I kid.
But thinking about that really started to freak me out because I kept imagining like my brain now and like my thoughts and like, do you have the little voice in your head that like talks to you?
I think so.
Like your inner dialogue?
Well, sometimes I just talk to myself out loud. So.
Oh, okay. But like
my inner dialogue likes to seep out. So, so
that's good. That's good.
Yeah. Sometimes my husband's like, "Who are you talking to?" I'm like, myself. Like,
let her run.
Yeah, leave us alone.
Let her be free.
Right.
Yeah, but it's like when you think thoughts to yourself. I was thinking thoughts to myself. All right.
Check out Thoughts podcast.
Oh, thank you for that.
You're
plug.
welcome.
Yeah. I was thinking, and I was like, I can't imagine like dying and not having this little voice with me.
Aww.
Even though it like was me.
It's like your little Jiminy Cricket moment.
Yeah, and like I know a lot of people talk about death being like, you just don't remember it. How like before you were born, you don't have memories of like before you were born, you know? So when you die, you don't even know. You're just like dead. But that doesn't make me feel good. That freaks me out.
No, I
really
agree. Bad. I think it's the, again, uncertainty.
Yeah, that definitely doesn't sit right with me.
I will say I do remember if I did actually have an existential crisis about death.
Oh.
I had it in high school.
Oh, really?
I did. It was actually my senior year, but it wasn't like close to graduation or anything. I ended up in the counselor's office, but I don't think it was because of that. But I remember there was another girl sitting there with me, and we actually had a very in-depth conversation about how, like, we're like, it's terrifying to think that one day we're not gonna exist.
Yeah.
One day we're not gonna be remembered.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. I think it's just a very eerie feeling that
It is very
everybody
eerie.
gets. And I don't think everybody gets it. I think some people have come to terms with it. And I think
Yeah.
some people process things so much healthier.
Oh, yeah,
So,
definitely. Some
Yeah.
people are literally like okay and never have anxiety in their life.
Yeah.
And I think that's amazing.
And
And I
I-
would like to know how.
I don't want to bring up religion or anything like
No.
that, but I do think a lot of more like religion-based people, like
Yeah.
they have they do have a sense of purpose for the afterlife.
Yes.
So I think they can process that a little bit different than you and
No, I definitely agree with that because a lot of the times I will get into some type of anxiety episode and I am guilty of going on Reddit and just typing out what I'm thinking and trying to find someone else to relate to because like
Yeah, I
normally
love Reddit.
yeah, normally when I find someone that I can relate to that has like had the same thoughts as me and is going through the same things as me, it's like reassuring, you know, because I like see how they look at things and I'm like, oh, that helps me too. So I went on Reddit and I was like, what happens after we die? Because like that's what I'm afraid of is like the just no longer
Yeah.
part of it. And it was a bunch of people on Reddit just fighting over different religions, which like I understand that like the faith definitely brings some people like a sense of peace, which is fine. But also I'm a type of person that like I have to see like the science and like research of it
Yeah.
all too. And like sometimes those two things don't get along very well. And that's what's freaking
Yeah.
me out is like no one knows what happens after we die.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and there's no research on it because how do you research that?
Yeah, I mean, you can only hear about like you're never gonna get a truth of it.
You're
you can
not
hear
until you're there
stories.
yourself.
Exactly, like you're never gonna know. And I think that has a lot to yeah. I'm not a religious person, as you know. I'm very agnostic. I want to believe that there is something greater out there,
Yeah.
but I just don't know what it is. Who
Yeah.
am I to say somebody else's opinion's wrong just because of one thing?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I'm on the same page as you. That's how I feel. And again, I don't want to get into like religion on this podcast or
If
anything.
it is this other way, then that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like great. So
But like
it's
we
not
don't
my
know,
place.
so
it's
I'm
not my place.
Yeah. Exactly.
So.
That's how I feel. But so I'd be on Reddit like looking at things and I was like, well, this is hard because everyone has like their own beliefs of what happened and there's no like research. There's no one to be like, this is what's going to happen for sure, you know? Like everyone can predict how they think the weather is going to be or how they think their football team is going to be. But like we don't know until it happens.
Yeah.
And that was the hard part because like death, those people that like could tell us what it's like and what like they're not here. So the one thing that I started reading and deep diving on Reddit that helped me, and then I also mentioned that I talked to my psychology professor about this,
Yeah.
and she helped me and like told me some things, and then she brought up this TikTok page that she watches, and like I'll circle back to this. It's same preference almost that I want to talk about, but on Reddit what I found was people talking about near-death experiences.
Yeah.
And the things that they reported during that and like because that's the closest thing to like a death research that like we could do is compare those things, but even then it's like something that happens in someone's brain, so like we don't know.
Yeah. I can't answer that for you. Like I said, I can't answer it for you. I mean, this is not even on your topic really, but I know a lot of people your age go through the like existential crisis in their like 20s. So I do think, and I hope that it's something you grow out of.
I think I will
until your midlife crisis.
I hope I don't.
But they're not the same. Those are not the same things.
Okay.
Midlife crisis is very
I didn't accomplish what I wanted to
yes,
type thing.
Yes.
See, I think I'm going to be okay with that.
Yeah. I think you will too.
Yeah, which is, I feel like that's going to be like nothing to me. I actually told my professor this too. I was like, hopefully that I'm having this like big, like, oh my gosh, we're all going to die, like a giant crisis now. I'm going to get it out of the way now, and down the road, I'll be like accepted, I'll be good, I'll be chill, because I'll be like, I already did this once, I'm going to get through it again, we're fine.
So you're saying it's still lingering. How long has this existential crisis last?
Probably almost a month now.
A month?
Almost a month, yeah.
Okay, I have a statistic.
Give me the statistic.
It just says, how long do existential crises last? It says the length of time that an existential crisis lasts can vary from person to person.
Okay.
Some people may experience a brief period of questioning before just moving on.
Well, I wish that was me.
Yeah. It's like not... Well, I think that some people just don't want to face it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they question it and they're like, this isn't something that I want it to like uproot myself or have to deal with right now. So I'm putting it on the back burner.
You know, I asked some of my friends.
Like you're procrastinating on
I'll worry about this later.
Yeah, that's me. I'm like, I don't have time for this, but also it's there.
Yeah.
You know?
That's kind of how my friends viewed it, because I, of course, reached out to them and I was like, how's everyone so calm right now?
How are y'all doing?
Yeah, like, why is nobody else freaking out? You know? Like, how is everyone on Earth just, like, chilling, just going through their day, knowing that this is going to be the outcome of everyone? Like, why is no one freaking out? And almost all of my friends said, we just don't think about it. And I had a very hard time accepting that answer, but...
Yeah, it wasn't the answer you were looking for.
No, I was like, okay, thank you. I was hoping maybe for some, like, techniques. My therapist taught me to breathe in a square.
Ooh.
It's really helpful, actually.
How do I do this?
Okay, if you ever get, like, very anxious and, like, start feeling it, you breathe in for 4 seconds.
Okay.
You hold it for 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Then you breathe out for 4 seconds. And then you just hold, like, nothing for 4 seconds.
I knew that. Actually, not for anxiety, but I had an enlarged heart at some point after giving birth, and I went to a doctor, and they're like, you need to do this breathing. So medically, that is wonderful advice.
That's great. He told me it was called, like, square breathing or something.
They may have said that. I just don't remember.
I don't know, but it definitely, yeah, I've been doing that when I start to freak out, and it does bring me back to earth a little bit.
I do that when I have a cold.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad. It's hard when you can't breathe through your nose, but like,
yeah, that's what I'm going through right now.
I know. I'm so sorry.
It's really hard.
Yeah. So on my Reddit dive.
Yes.
So it went from like what happens after we die, and then I moved on to like, okay, I'm gonna have to look up near-death experiences, and this, I don't know if it's a fact because like it's hard to fact check it because there are some like theories of like what it could be. You know, but the one thing that like kind of brought me peace was all of these people that like either died for like a little bit and then like they were medically like brought back, or like things like that, or people that were in like really tragic accidents but like lived through it. They all reported like kind of the same thing. So for that,
that's the best you're gonna get.
Exactly. But that to me, I was like, there's so many of them and all these people are reporting the same thing. Like, there's got to be something behind it, you know? Like, there's something.
Yeah. Let's hope. What did you find?
So, a lot of people, well, almost all of them reported that they felt, like, calm. Like, it was instantly, like, peaceful and calm, even though, like, some of them were in, like, car accidents, and other ones were, like, in the hospital, like, doctors everywhere and, like, beeping. But they said, like, for these moments that they were, like, near death, that it was like very calm. Everything was like quiet and slow and peaceful and just like relaxed. And a bunch of them said like bright. So that's nice.
Interesting.
Yeah, it just made, I don't know. Hearing that, I was like, okay, so far what I'm hearing is like, it's not like before you're about to die, you're having a panic attack. You know, because I feel like that would happen to me. Yeah. And then I'd be panicking. I'd be like too aware of what's going on, but it doesn't sound like that.
I hear you see loved ones, like past loved ones.
Yes, I actually was going to go on to that.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
So that TikTok that I was talking about, my professor said that, well, first she warned me. She goes, if you're already like in a bad mindset, you know, like maybe don't watch these because they might make you spiral more. But like if you're doing good and stuff,
she
and you
censored
feel like,
that for sure.
Yes, I'm so thankful she did. But later that day I went home and I was like, I'm feeling pretty good, you know, like I took my medicine, like I was thriving, I was working on homework, and I was like, I think I'm gonna look this up. There is a hospice nurse on TikTok.
I know who you're talking about.
Do you?
I do. And she sounds like she does her job well. Let's just say
Yes,
that. She's a very calming voice.
Yes, I actually really like listening to her. I definitely can see, though, if I'm already spiraling and I go and watch some of hers, it's probably not going to make me feel too good.
Yeah, she's the one who basically told me about the loved ones thing. And
yes, that's exactly
how she knows.
Yep, that's where I'm going with it. So this hospice nurse, she does record, like, people entering, like, the stages of death or, like, getting close to dying. Of course.
The surge.
Yes, and of course with permission from the family and the person that's being recorded. Like, she doesn't share them like that. Yeah. But there was something called the death reach and the death stare. Have you heard about those?
I don't think so.
We might be watching a different TikToker.
Well, no, I don't think I just might not have seen those episodes.
Okay.
Because I've heard about the surge, but I learned that also from Grey's Anatomy.
I know what the surge is too, and I've learned that from an animal, so not in a human sense, in like an animal sense, like a vet.
Tell me about the reach.
Okay.
And the stare.
The death reach was reported, and she makes these videos to show like these things are normal, and she's like, this is what I see, like these are like normal signs for like people on hospice, and like this is what I see like towards death, all of these people, and it was like within a week of them dying, like pretty close to like when they passed, would be like laying down in a hospital bed or like at home with the hospice, and they reach up like and reach out, and like it looks worrisome. So if you don't know what's going on, it would freak me out, like if I saw like my loved one doing that, I'd be like, what's happening? But now that I watched her TikToks and I'm informed, I know what's going on.
Okay.
Sorta. So I guess if you like question these people and be like, hey, like what are you reaching for? Like what are you grabbing? They say that they're seeing their dead loved ones, and they're starting to give people hugs. Oh. And they're like trying to grab like their loved ones.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know, it made me feel a lot better, and it made me stop panicking, so I needed to share it with somebody, because it did calm me down, because like it happens a lot. And like that would be so nice if like I'm dying and I get to pet my dog. Yeah. That I haven't seen since childhood. Like that would make me feel so good. Right. But the death stare goes with the death reach, and it was, I think this hospice nurse was talking about this man that she was treating, and he was like sitting in his chair, and it's like he would look past her almost and start smiling. Like all the people that do the death stare, like they're staring out or they're reaching and they're smiling, like they're really happy. And
babies do that.
Oh, ooh.
But that's just a baby thing. I don't know.
That's a separate tangent.
That's a whole other thing,
that's almost a whole nother episode. I think my cat sees into a different dimension.
All cats do. Cats are dimensions. Like I don't even know how to describe what cats are. That's a whole other podcast.
That's a whole new episode, but we should do that soon.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so maybe babies and cats are like.
Well, I've got babies and you've got a cat.
We should research.
Yeah.
And report back.
We'll just like.
What dimension is your baby in?
What dimension is your cat in?
I don't know.
All right, cut this out.
Okay.
Go.
Anyway.
Stare.
Yeah, so the death stare and the death reach, kind of the same thing, but they will stare off and smile, and they're saying that they're seeing their loved ones. But, like, these loved ones are people that have already passed.
Yes.
So it's like how the hospice nurse explained it was there's, like, a curtain between the living and the dead. And when you're, like, getting close to, like, passing away, this curtain gets, like, sheer, and you start to see each other or something. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like that.
It made me feel a lot better, though.
It's a good analogy.
Yeah. Like, seeing things like that and so many people experiencing it, like, made me calm down a little bit. Because I'm like, maybe that is, like, an afterlife thing. Yeah. Like, who knows?
You speaking of stages of, passing, there's actually stages of existential crisising.
Oh, perfect. Give me the stages.
All right. Here we go.
I love that you're just, like, my little fact lady of the day. And I'm like, here's me thinking about dying.
Okay.
Barbie thinks about it. It's okay.
Well, it's not like... Yeah, it is. Okay. Categorizations are usually based on the idea that the issue at the core of existential crises differ with the individual stage in life and personal development. Types commonly found in the academic literature include the teenage crisis, the quarter life crisis. Oh, that's what you're in.
Yay.
The midlife crisis.
Yeah.
And the later life crisis. So you're having one of those.
I think the quarter.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that I don't have any more of these though, because like for some reason when I have a crisis, it's really not good.
No, I think you just hold on to things a lot deeper.
Yeah.
And I do think that you do have a lot of nostalgia.
Oh, I definitely do. That caused like a whole lot of it.
Yeah, I think you have a lot of nostalgia that you just don't ever want to lose, and I get that. I think a lot of us have that. If you had some like happy times, you know what I mean? It's hard to give up.
I definitely had like a very happy childhood. Like it was awesome, and I'm very grateful for that because a lot of people don't get that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like moving past that is like a big change, and then like the college is a big change, and like everything happening all at once. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die one day, and I'm freaking out.
And that's why we all need to be kind to each other.
Please, everyone be so nice always, because you never know.
Exactly.
Someone might be spiraling.
I also had this realization in my 30s. Mm-hmm. Just like, I feel like we go to our parents for so much information.
Yes.
But like, we also have to give them some grace because it's their first time living too.
I saw a TikTok that said like, I go to my mom for advice, but also she's just a girl too. And like, this is her first time too. And I lost it. I sobbed. I was like, I'm so sad. Like, this is their first time being a person.
Exactly. And I think of that especially as a mom now, because like now I have to be that person.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I used to go to my mom and be like, is this okay? Is this okay? Is this okay? And then I'm going to have to be that person. And like, that's something I go to my mom for. And
yeah, so it's like, how do I be that person?
Yeah, it's like momception. And I'm like, whoa, pump the brakes. And I actually did call my mom one time, and I just was like, hey, like, it's your first time doing this too, and you know, thank you, and I see you. Yeah. So it was like a nice moment.
That's like really wholesome.
Yeah, I think everybody should like give their parents.
I feel like I need to call my mom right now.
Yeah, you should on your way home. Like,
I actually think I'm gonna call her on my way home. Be like, just letting you know, homegirl.
Yeah, like I'm here for you too. Like it's like it's like as I get older, I now see some things where I'm just like, my mom doesn't have all the answers.
No, because at the end of the day, we're all just people.
Yeah, and she doesn't have to.
No.
And that's okay. Like, I'm not going to get mad at her for that. Like,
yeah.
It's not her fault. Like, it's not my dad's fault. Like,
sometimes you're going to be in situations and stuff that, like, your parents haven't been in. You know? Like, you're figuring things out, too, just like they are. So that's...
And sometimes you also, in, like, not, like, a negative way, but, like, sometimes you look back and you're like, my mom definitely, like, lied through her teeth, but she wanted me to feel better.
Yeah.
She wanted me not to be scared. And as a mom, I get that 100%.
Yeah,
so,
I understand.
Respect.
There's definitely times where my mom just lied to make me feel better, and I'm all for that. Like, thank goodness. Honestly, like, please lie to me in that situation.
Yeah. But like, it's not even that they're lying, it's that they don't know.
Yeah, they don't know either.
They didn't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
Like, one time, because I am a kid that like I was very much in the hospital setting because of X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't have any like mental things, but I had a lot of physical stuff wrong. And my mom and I had like a really good talk about it, and I was just like, I begged her that I wouldn't get my like an IV drawn, because I always was getting IVs. I hate needles, you know this.
Yeah.
And we did a podcast episode about our biggest fears, and needles was on there. But
I still want you to get a tattoo with me, but like,
I'm so scared.
That spot that your daughter put a temporary tattoo on, that's such a cute spot.
I've inspired her with my fake butterfly tattoo.
I really like it. Yeah.
But anyways,
I can work with that.
Yeah. So she promised me that I would not get an IV, and at the end of the day they said that I needed to get one, and she told me that she had never felt like, she told me this as an adult now, like, I literally just saw her last week, and she's like, because I had to take my child to the doctors and hold them down for like an ultrasound. Mm-hmm. And I told her, I was like, I just paced the room and like wanted to vomit and cry. And I was like, I understand you now, I see you, like I said, I see you. And I was like, that's the worst feeling. And then she brought it up, and she's like, I felt so upset with myself for promising you that she said that she never made another promise to me again about hospital stuff.
Oh.
Because, like, parents don't know.
Yeah.
Like, we're all just living once. We're all going to die once. You can die once, but you need to live every day.
Okay, that was very helpful.
That's going on a shirt, right?
Yeah, you just made a t-shirt. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I hope that helped you. I don't
It does.
know. I didn't mean to, but I think I just became inspirational.
That was like big, actually.
Wow.
I'll tell you one of my questions, and this is one of the lingering ones.
Okay.
That keeps like dragging me down. I think that quote kind of like helps a little bit. My problem is, and there's actually a meme too that goes with this, and I think about the meme sometimes too, and it kind of helps, whatever. I used to be on the other side of this thought, but I've been thinking, like, and not in like a depressed, like I need to get help way. Like, I know that this is just like an anxious thought. I'm gonna work through it.
It's okay.
Yeah, I just need to like warn everyone
please.
I am okay.
No,
but
yes, go ahead.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah,
needed to preface
yeah,
that.
we're same boat.
Yeah. Okay. So
Different river.
Yep. Okay. I'm paddling along.
Yep.
I got
Same.
my life preserver.
Yeah, one of my paddles just fell out.
Oh no.
It's fine. Help. Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you the other one.
Thank you.
Okay. Here we go.
All right.
So, I think, like, when I'm doing things like cleaning my room. Right now, my room is a disaster, and that
It's weird for you.
exactly, like, that's not me. Normally, everything's color coded and in a container and labeled.
Yeah.
Like, and I know that's how I want to be.
If she's not cleaning it, she's rearranging it.
There it is. You know.
Yeah.
My problem right now is I'll start to clean because I'm like, I feel better when my things are organized in containers.
Oh, yes.
So I will start to make myself clean, but then I'll get hit with the thought of, I'm going to die one day, so what's the point of doing this now?
Yep.
I'm like, why does anything actually matter? And like, it sounds really sad, but like, it's a question. Like, what's the point? What's the point of me having a credit score? What's the point of me, like,
honestly,
graduating and getting a
what
job?
is the point of a credit score?
Are we the only country that has one?
Yeah, they're like our workout. Like, that's a whole other God.
Yeah.
We have so many podcasts to make. Anyways, to get back on topic, you did ask me a question about that once when you were in your spiral. Just like, what's the point?
Yeah.
And I don't remember exactly.
And like, that's
what
kind
I
of a
said.
scary question. Like, I feel like sometimes people ask, what's the point? And people take it the wrong way. Like, they kind of like freak out and they're like, oh my God, like, you need like help.
Oh no,
like,
because
now.
I think that's a very real thing.
It's like, more people need to ask this, I guess. Like, what is the point? Like, what's
And
the
people
point
are
of, like,
just trying to check you because they know that is a real thing that people have. So it's very great that other people are asking you.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
I am thankful
Like,
for
you
everyone like
appreciate that.
asking that. I do appreciate that, and I understand why people
But
do ask. But it's like,
it's a valid question.
yeah.
Yeah. I think
So that's what
I
I'm
think
working
questions
on.
like that, but I not exactly to that degree right now. But yeah. What is the point is, like, you have to, like I told you, you have to make it a point every day.
Yeah.
To make life worth living. Like, that's the point. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, that is what you need to do, because then your life is going to be nothing. It's going to be meaningless.
Yeah.
Like, you have to bring your own spice to your life, you know?
I'm going to season it before I saute.
Maybe some oregano. I know.
Some chives.
Some chive. Ooh, I love a good chive. But
It's really good, honestly.
agree.
They've been growing on me.
Thank God. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I get what you're saying. And like I said,
You're
the only one who can answer that.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to, like, work myself through now, is when I'm organizing. I'm like, what's the point? And I'm like, well, I should just try to enjoy this while I have it.
But you could be more literal about it. What's the point? Well, so I feel better after this.
Yeah.
Like, there does not have to be a bigger point.
Yeah.
You can just be like, the point of me cleaning this room is for my feelings.
That's good. I should just, like, water it down.
Yeah. Water it down. Bring it down 10,000 levels. Okay?
The point of me doing this is for this. Like, if I have little points.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be bigger than that. It doesn't.
Like, I'm going to sweep my floor today so, like, my cat can walk.
Right. You can make it for somebody else because, like, as a people pleaser, I think sometimes that's great to do.
Maybe I should do that.
Yeah. I loathe cleaning my house, but, like, I feel better when it's done. Do I think my kids are going to be healthier because of it? Yes. I will do it for my kids every day and every time.
Okay. That's good.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe I'll, like, start spiraling things onto my cat, and then I'll be like, I have to do it for my cat.
Do it for her.
I'm going to do it for Chai.
Yes.
The Chai kitty.
Every day you're going to wake up doing it for Chai.
She is just an icon.
She tried to bite me the other day.
I'm sorry that she does that. I really don't know what's going on. She's labeled as aggressive at the vet now.
Really?
Yeah, but she's never aggressive to me.
That's because you're her person.
We definitely are made for each other.
Yeah.
Like, it just makes sense.
Mara tries to bite me, too. I'm kidding.
Don't get in my way, I yap.
Right.
Have you seen the video that I took of me sobbing, driving my cat to the vet, and she's crying in the background?
I didn't. Send that to me.
I'll send it to you.
I would love to see that.
It's really funny. It just makes a lot of sense. Like, we're the same. Only she's a cat.
She's a spirit animal.
Yeah. But, to the point of it all,
yes,
exactly
yes.
what is the point is, that's what's been making me spiral lately, because I'm like, why should I do my homework? Like, what's the point?
To graduate college.
Yeah, I'm going to have to start doing that.
You need smaller answers.
That I think I've been looking at everything too big, because I'm like, why should I, like, try to have, like, a nice career and have this lifestyle that I want?
And don't take this the wrong way, but please don't take this the wrong way.
Okay.
But I think everybody can kind of think of this too, is we need to stop being so selfish about life.
Yes, no, listen, I completely agree, and I'm realizing that more and more. I'm like, the materialistic side of it all, I'm like, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter.
Maybe I'm not put on this earth for necessarily just me. Maybe I'm put on this earth to be a good sister, a good mother. Like, there are way more ties to that. Like, I don't need to be like, what's my point? Maybe my point is to be my sister's helping hand. Maybe my point is to be a good wife to my husband. Well, he's really actually my slave. I love him dearly.
He brought me ice cream.
He did. He didn't bring me any because I can't do that.
Thanks, John.
Yeah, thanks, John. But do you know what I mean? Like, I think we all need to take a step back and,
like, sometimes it's not just for ourselves.
Yeah.
I think of that too. Actually, this is again one thing my professor brought up. I love my professor.
You can go first, but I have a question.
Okay. She did bring up, she's like, think about the things, like, you're so, like, grateful for, and, like, thinking about other people as well. She's like, since I'm an only child, like, I gave my parents the opportunity to be parents.
Yes.
And she was like, write that down. Like, write down things like that, like, everything that's impacted your life that makes you feel so good.
Yeah.
And I really like that.
And I honestly do think that you were, like, a big light in your parents' lives.
I definitely, like, not to be, like, all about me.
No, but I, like, as, like, an outsider, and, like, I know your parents, like, really wanted a child.
Yeah.
And, like, you're definitely something they're going to cherish forever. Yeah.
So,
I'm one of 5. I might as well not even be there.
You are the middle of the middle.
I'm the glue.
Ooh. Good purpose. The family,
I guess it's
gatherer.
Actually, like, not my favorite point in life, but it's
one of them.
It's there.
You know, you have multiple points.
Thank
in
you.
My life.
I'm like a star.
You are a star. You're my favorite star.
Aww. We're so cute.
What's your question?
Okay, so we're talking about, you know, the bigger question being, what's my point in life?
Yeah.
If you had to answer that yourself, what would you want that to be?
So, since it's something I've been thinking about, like, a lot recently, I'm going to tell you of the conclusion that I've came to so far.
Okay.
And it's not fully developed yet. We're still working through it. Every panic attack is a step closer to answering the question of life, okay?
Okay.
So what I've got so far is my personal belief. I think there is going to be an afterlife, that it brings me peace thinking about that, seeing all, like, the signs, which we'll get into that next, is, like, sign things. I'll explain it later.
But just to clarify.
Yes.
I'm not talking about, like, afterlife.
Yes.
Like, while you're living, what is your point?
Okay.
What is your point?
Okay, so I'm getting to it. I promise. Okay. To get there.
Okay.
I think that my point now is to just, like, be happy.
Yes.
Be nice.
I hope that for you.
I want to be happy. I want to be nice. Lately I've been donating a lot to charities. Like, every time that I can, like, even at a store, if it's little and just, like, rounding up, I'll always round up.
Right.
I'm like, whatever, like, a couple cents, like, who?
But also check your charities.
Oh, I'm on a strict budget. Don't you worry.
Yeah, make sure they're actually
my bills are paid.
Yeah.
And then I donate.
Yeah, but I meant, like, make sure those charities are actually giving.
Oh, it's like the Ronald McDonald House and like. Yeah, they're definitely, like, real ones. Good. It's not, like, random ones online.
Okay.
It's like if I'm shopping or something, like, do you want to round up your total? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah. So I do that. I just want to be kind. Lately I've really been wanting to be there, like, for my family. Like, I've just, like, really been showing up. Like, I'm kind of, like, getting back my relationship with my grandparents. Because, like, for a while there, it was, like, all I did was school and work, and I overloaded myself. So I've been trying to, like, take a step back from all that and, like, reconnect with my family and just, like, be happy. Be happy and be nice. And that feels like my point right now, is just to, like, enjoy the time.
Yeah, good. I'm happy to hear that.
That's what I've gotten so far.
I like it. That was a good answer.
Yeah, it's not like a big point, but it's like a point that makes me feel better.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. Do you have a point? Like, do you
like I said, I think my point is to be a good mom. Yeah. And this isn't necessarily a point, but like that's something I want to work on more is like being more present in one of my siblings' life more. Okay. To help them bring more point to their life. Okay. If that makes sense. Yeah. So that's my point right now.
I would like to connect too, because, like, you know, the whole family aspect of it. I think we could maybe do that together.
Yeah, I think be nice. That's the point of family.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's
all right.
That's what's going on, I guess. I'm still trying to make sense of it all. I'm still anxious, but
I know
we're getting through it. I think I'm finally starting to, like, accept it. And I'm like, well, if everyone has to do it, it can't be that bad, right?
Yeah. And if it is, it's just because everyone has to do it.
Exactly. So like,
it's a mandatory thing. You can't help it.
Yeah. So this last final thing that I'm going to talk to you about.
Yeah. And I have some points on some ways you can help.
My existential crisis?
It's like more of like things that can help, not suppress, but like ease.
Okay, let's hear it.
Help.
Give me my helping topics.
So, in ways to remedy an existential crisis, you could express your feelings. Don't bottle things up or ignore how you feel.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Thoughts Podcast.
Yeah. Practice mindfulness and meditation. These can help with negative thoughts, moods, and stress levels.
My therapist told me to look it up on YouTube. He said watch meditation videos.
There's an app. It's called Calm.
Oh.
It's a very good one.
Okay.
He talks very calmly. And they listen to rain, and he, like, counts down and count the rain up. It's really cute. He talks in Australian accent as well. So
even better.
That's fine. There's one that says connect with others. Support from friends and family is crucial. One study found that narrative discussions of existential topics improve depression treatments and outcomes.
Oh.
Journal. Write out your thoughts.
I just started that, actually.
Yep, you did mention that. Mm-hmm. You can channel negative thoughts in that way. Practice positive thinking. This can encourage mindfulness, gratitude, self-compassion, and optimism.
That actually goes along with how I mentioned that meme earlier about, like, the what's the point meme. There is, like, it shows a bus, kind of.
Okay.
And, like, one side of the bus, you're looking out the bus window, and there's just, like, brick wall, and, like, the little thought bubble above the guy's head just says, like, nothing has a point. Yeah. But then the other side of the bus is looking out the window, and you see, like, sun and butterflies, and, like, it looks so nice. And it's, like, nothing has a point,
Yeah. It's all about,
like, how you're looking at it.
Exactly. It's all about perspective.
Like, the little things that, like, people are getting so upset about and stuff, it's, like, it's not gonna matter.
No.
Like, nothing has a point.
I always tell high school age kids, and I will always tell them, like, because I remember being in high school, and I feel like that's a really hard, crucial time. You go through puberty with these people. You grow up with these people. You're stuck with the same people. Bullying is so harsh there. I am always a big advocate for, like, this too shall pass.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Once you get out of here, you're gonna thrive, because I hear so many tragic stories about high school age kids, and I'm like,
it's so hard. It really is.
I'm just like, just push through. It's gonna get better.
It gets so much better after high school. It really does. And,
like, it is not that deep, I promise.
And I know I was at, like, the same spot that I was now, just, like, freaking out about, like, what's next. But college and, like, that experience,
but it's not through peers. It's not like a peer pressure type thing.
No. I just, like, to reassure myself, I'm thinking, like, I was freaking out before about, like, this big change, and it turned out being, like, amazing, like, so much better than I thought it was going to be. So I'm hoping the next chapter is going to be just like that, even better.
And I hope that for you.
I'm hoping.
Yeah. The next one is focus on what you can control.
That one I definitely need. Because
humans have no determination over chance, death, or other mysterious aspects of the human experience. We cannot control it. The only thing you can control is how you feel about it.
My dad says that to me all of the time, and I need to start listening.
Yes, Brian with the wise words.
Thank you.
This one is very important. Consider therapy.
I love that one.
It aims to increase self-awareness and helps people live more fulfilling lives. And it's just an all-around better way to decompress.
I do think that's really important, and I think there is always a stigma around mental health.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm biased because I go to therapy myself, and I am also a psychology major, but I think that everyone could benefit from therapy, even the people that are like, I don't think I need therapy. Like, it could still, like, even just having a conversation with someone. Yeah. Like, it's just so helpful.
And I think you need to give it multiple chances, because even if it doesn't work with one therapist, it can work with another.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't just drop it.
Yeah, just like a physical medication, like sometimes things don't agree with you, like an antibiotic. Like, you got to try like a different one.
Exactly.
The same thing with like mental health. You know, some things won't work, other things will, and everyone's different.
And there's so many options too, guys. Like, you can find
so many options.
So it's not a limited thing.
No. That's really important. Yeah. I actually saw something recently on TikTok that there were people that were struggling, like trying to find what medication was helping their mental health. And there was some type of test they were doing on DNA. Ooh. And they could like draw some of your blood and do like this test and find out which medications will help your DNA.
Dang, I needed that when I was looking for depression medicine.
I think it's like very new.
Sertraline. It's really working well.
Oh, yeah. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, mine is Prozac. I love her. Okay. Yeah, she's doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But always speak up if you don't think a medication's not working for you.
Oh, absolutely.
So, because I know a lot of people are afraid to sometimes even like
say, like, I don't think it's working.
Exactly. Because I think sometimes medication is pushed so far.
Yeah.
So there is a line, and it can be drawn, and you get to draw it. So, definitely find what works for you, no matter what the outcome is. Find help.
Oh, I liked that.
Thank you.
That was really wholesome.
Should I become a therapist?
Honestly, I think you would be great at it.
Maybe really like a children's one, because I feel like I talk to like little kids so good.
Aww, that would be really good. Adults, I don't know.
You're like a child to me in a nice way. I don't mean that in a mean way. It's a safe space. She's my baby cousin. So I see you as little Mara.
I needed that. Do you think 24 is young?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, good.
I'm 7 years older than you. You're so young, girl.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 24 was like a really good year for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's 23, 24 was my prime.
Really? I hated
in my 20s.
22. 22 was not good.
I hated
23
that.
was better. 24, we're off to a rocky start.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking like the rest of 24 and 25, I think I will be like glowing.
25 wasn't great for me, but 26 was.
Oh, okay.
That's when I started like to have my kids and stuff, but like being pregnant wasn't great. But then I turned 30, and like I feel like, yes, again, physical pain sucks, but I don't have like that feeling like I don't know if I explained it to you, but like I don't feel like I have to keep up with trends if I don't want to. I don't feel like I have to prove myself to other people my age. Like I feel like we're all in this 30-year-old group where we're all just like, go to bed at 9, go wear the comfy tennis shoes, we don't care, we're 30.
That's nice.
Do you know what I mean?
That's like a newfound peace.
Yeah, like I feel like I don't have to like.
Oh, this is fun to ask you actually.
Yes.
At age, I believe it's 25, might be 26, but I'm thinking 25 is when your brain will fully develop. Okay. And a lot of people report like a couple years after that, looking back, they felt the change. They were like, yeah, definitely like something happened during like those years, and I'm like a different person. Like I evolved into like something new.
I think mine changed not when I turned. Well, maybe. I don't know, because I think I had my first baby at 26. Yeah, I was 20. I was either 26 or 27, but that's when I don't know if it's because of age, but like when I had my kids, like I definitely had this big switch where I was like, I don't people please. I don't do anything. Like, I just, like, turn into a whole different person. I became...
I wonder if that was, like, part of your brain fully developing.
Oh, yeah, those babies do something to you. Like, oh, my God, things happen. So it could have just been a load of things, but by itself, just, like, age-wise, I don't know. That's interesting. You'll have to let me know. If you don't have kids, just let me know what you think.
I will. I'll let you know if my brain evolved or not.
Yeah, let me know.
Because, like, sometimes I'm like, I feel like I'm a full different person than I was.
And this is just with women, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think, possibly, don't quote me on this, I think that men's brains develop a little later in life.
That's what I hear, yes.
Yeah. I believe it's not at the same time.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel like mine already has changed so much, so I'm like, how much more are we changing? I'm hoping the anxiety part maybe changes and goes away.
I hope so,
that would be cool.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But if not, it's fine. I'll live with this.
Yeah.
It'll be
You have
okay.
good doctors.
I do.
Here to help you through.
When he retires, I don't know what I'm going to do.
It's okay.
He's going to have to therapy me, like, through his retirement.
Aww.
Be like, I can't handle this change.
He's going to give you a really wonderful recommendation, somebody he trusts, and you're going to be okay.
Perfect. I think he's going to have, like, a student come in or something maybe and then take his place.
Go.
And then it'll be a nice,
I love
smooth
that
transition
daydream we have going on right now. You're like, this is all going to
I'm like, this is the way he's going to retire, and I'm going to let him know so he, like, knows how I expect this to go.
Right. Yeah. Maybe write him, like, an email.
Like, this is your plan that I made for you.
Yeah, I don't know when you're going to retire, but here's your next 5-year plan.
Yeah, when you do, this is how it needs to be done, so I am okay.
Right. 100%.
Amazing.
Get your mental wellness in check, people. Mara's got a plan.
For my therapist.
Yes.
Sometimes you gotta therapy your therapist.
Amazing.
That's one thing I have a question for that, like, one day maybe I'll learn it. I don't know. Do therapists, like,
have their own therapist? Yeah. How did I know you were going to ask that?
I don't know. I'm just curious. I'm assuming probably, yeah.
It's interesting because I almost wonder if they can regulate themselves.
That's what I think too. And then, like, I'm not a therapist. Like, I'm not licensed or anything, but I'm graduating in less than a month with a bachelor's in psychology. And I will say sometimes I'll learn things and it'll, like, click and I'm like, that makes sense for me. But then at the other point, like, I'll see things and then I overthink myself into, like, oh my gosh, I have this and this and this. I think it's like med student syndrome or something.
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know.
I hear doctors all just still Google, so.
I've heard that too.
Yeah. No harm. I Google everything.
I know. I hope doctors don't use WebMD.
People think that, like, so badly, though. They're like, the doctor uses it. I'm like, I want them to be educated.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? I want them to go find the answer.
Yeah, I'm not going to get offended if my doctor is Googling something, like, in front of me, because, like, I'm happy that they have that resource and they're using it.
Right. I'm like, I hope they don't cut off the wrong leg. Go Google it.
Yeah, like, please Google the muscle
yes,
that you're cutting into.
Go. Nobody's cutting off my leg. But that was just, you know.
I've never had my leg cut off either.
Yeah.
But
you should knock on some wood.
Yeah, actually, because now I'm going to have anxiety about losing a limb.
Oh, God. No, we made so much progress in this podcast.
Know. I'm going to go to my professor's office hours. And I'm going to be like, so what's the chances I lose a limb?
Yeah. How are you going to Google that?
Reddit?
Yeah. It's got to be Reddit.
I could spiral on this, but that's a whole different episode.
Yeah.
I feel like that's all I got right now.
Yeah?
I feel like I really talked some stuff out.
Yeah, did this, like, feel good to get off your chest?
It did. I'm happy about it. I'm happy to edit this episode and post it on the internet.
Yeah, I think this was a good one, and I think it was very eye-opening, and I think it's interesting as the person who hears the side of you having the anxiety attack.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's eye-opening. I think that maybe not a lot of people talk about it, and maybe there's a lot of people out there that have the same fear and the same questions that I've been having.
Yeah. It's very brave of you to share it, like, out loud.
Here's your sign that it's normal to a point. Like, I'm thinking about it, I'm scared, and, like, I guess if you look at me from, like, a social media standpoint, like, you go and look at my Instagram, you go and look at my podcast page, like, you wouldn't think that I'm laying in my bed at night freaking out about dying, you know? Yeah. So, like, you never know.
100%.
It's me, guys.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Best quote of this episode: "You die once, but you live every day."
That was really good. Thank you.
Remember that, people.
Yeah, that was good. Make the most of it.
Yes, 100%. And make sure you reach out if you're having any bad feelings.
Always reach out to anyone.
Please.
So, guys, I would love to hear your thoughts on all of this. All of your conspiracy theories, too. Let me hear them. I just want to know. Be nice to me, though, because my brain is sensitive. But it's fine.
Maybe censor them a little bit.
Censor them a little bit. Lie to me if you have to, but it's fine. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you haven't, please give this podcast a rate on your streaming platform and follow the Instagram page at _thoughtspodcast.
All right. Have a good one.
Good luck out there. 24 is not old.
Nope.